What if reality is not fixed, but written? What if every circumstance, every event, every so-called accident in your life is not a coincidence, but the output of an invisible source code running beneath existence itself? For centuries, mystics, scientists, and philosophers have searched for the ultimate secret, the blueprint behind matter, the language the universe speaks. And long before quantum physics spoke of wave functions and superposition, long before neuroscience revealed the power of consciousness, the priest scientists of ancient Egypt had already uncovered it. They called it the Medu Neter, the words of the gods, the vibrational language through which reality itself is programmed. To them, the universe was not a machine. It was a living algorithm, a self-aware field responding to frequency and intention. Every thought was a command, every belief a line of code, every emotion a function shaping the probabilities that become your lived experience. And those who mastered this language could do the unthinkable, rewrite destiny itself. Inside temples aligned with the stars, carved into granite and gold, the initiates studied what they called the Scroll of Becoming. Sacred teachings revealing how reality emerges from consciousness. They believed that the human soul was not here to obey the laws of the universe, but to speak them. Not to adapt to reality, but to author it. Modern science now echoes what they knew. At the subatomic level, reality exists as a field of potential, a matrix of infinite possibilities that remain undefined until consciousness interacts with them. That interaction, your vibration, your focus, your expectation, is the source code compiler, collapsing wave into form, potential into matter, thought into experience. You are not a spectator. You are not an observer trapped in a predetermined script. You are the programmer, and the script is still being written. Activation. Comment, I am the source code. To anchor this awareness deep into your subconscious and prepare for the journey that follows. Chapter 1. The Hidden Matrix. How consciousness writes the code of reality. To understand the power you hold, you must first understand what reality truly is and what it is not. Reality is not a static structure built from atoms and forces. It is not a pre-written story unfolding regardless of your will. Reality is a dynamic field of information, a living matrix of probabilities, continuously rewritten by the most powerful creative force in the cosmos: consciousness. Quantum physics has revealed what the ancient Egyptians already intuited. At the deepest level, nothing is solid. Atoms dissolve into subatomic particles, and those particles dissolve further into pure potential. The universe, beneath the illusion of form, exists as an infinite probability field, a sea of possibilities waiting for instruction. That instruction is given not by chance, but by conscious observation, the vibrational signal emitted by awareness itself. This is the mystery behind the observer effect. Before observation, reality is undetermined, a wave of infinite outcomes. The moment consciousness interacts with it, the wave collapses into one outcome. And that outcome is not random. It is shaped by the frequency of the observer. Belief, emotion, intention. These are not metaphysical concepts. They are inputs into the universal processor, data that the field uses to compile potential into form. The Egyptian initiates described this phenomenon in mythic language. They spoke of Ptah, the god who spoke the world into existence. His words were not mere sounds. They were vibrations encoded with intention, collapsing chaos into cosmos. They believed that every human carried this same divine function, that thoughts and words were not passive reflections of reality, but active instructions shaping it. This was the essence of Heka, the sacred power of creation through consciousness. Modern science now confirms what their hieroglyphs implied. Consciousness is the architect of reality's code. The universe does not happen to you. It responds to you. It reads the vibration you emit, the energetic blueprint of your beliefs, fears, expectations, and desires, and calculates the version of reality that matches it. You are not a character inside a simulation. You are the compiler writing the simulation's next frame. This means that everything you experience is not evidence of a fixed fate. It is a printout of your current frequency. Your reality is not a mirror of what you want. It is a mirror of what you are. And the moment you change the signal, the code must change too. Activation. Comment: I write reality with my consciousness. To anchor this truth into your subconscious and begin consciously programming the matrix around you. Chapter 2. The Vibrational Language. How thoughts, beliefs, and emotions become code. If reality is a living matrix and consciousness is the architect, then language, not spoken language, but vibrational language, is the programming tool through which that architecture is shaped. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold is a line of code, written not in words, but in frequency, and the universe reads that frequency fluently. The field is not fluent in human language. It does not understand, I want abundance, or I fear rejection. What it receives and processes are the vibrational signatures behind those statements, the emotional resonance, the subconscious certainty, the energetic pulse encoded within them. A single fleeting thought of worthlessness, if felt deeply, carries more weight in the algorithm than 100 affirmations spoken without belief. This is why most attempts at manifestation fail. They fail not because the universe is unresponsive, but because the signal is incoherent. People say, I am worthy, while vibrating, I am not. They visualize success while radiating fear. They speak abundance while embodying scarcity. The result is a distorted instruction set, a fragmented frequency, and the algorithm, ever precise, simply computes and returns the dominant vibration it receives. The priest-scientists of ancient Egypt understood this with absolute clarity. They believed that the heart, I-B, not the intellect, was the true center of creation because it was the seat of feeling, the vibrational core of the human being. The Heka, their term for magical speech, was not about reciting incantations. It was about aligning emotion, thought, and intention into one coherent, energetic transmission. When spoken with belief, words became commands. When backed by emotion, intention became reality. Modern neuroscience now supports this ancient wisdom. Thoughts generate electromagnetic patterns. Emotions amplify them. Beliefs stabilize them. Together, they form a vibrational syntax, a structured signal the field interprets as an instruction set. This is the hidden grammar of manifestation. Thought is the code. Emotion is the voltage. Belief is the compiler. And once the signal is coherent, once thought, emotion, and belief sing in harmony, the universe has no choice but to respond. The wave collapses. Probability becomes form. Intention becomes fact. And reality reorganizes itself to reflect the new instruction. This is the art of speaking the universe's language, and the reason why the most powerful creators do not wish for change. They become the frequency of what they seek. They don't speak commands with their mouths. They transmit them with their being. Activation. Comment. I speak the language of the field. To anchor this awareness into your subconscious and begin transmitting instructions the universe cannot ignore. Chapter 3. The Subconscious Compiler. The hidden program, writing most of your reality. If your conscious thoughts are the keystrokes, then your subconscious mind is the operating system compiling every line of code you write into reality. It is the hidden engine beneath awareness, constantly transmitting signals, shaping outcomes, and scripting experiences long before you make a single choice. And here is the truth most people never realize. More than 90% of the vibration you emit, the data the universe uses to calculate your life, is generated below your conscious awareness. This is why you can read affirmations, visualize goals, or speak intentions, and still watch your life repeat the same patterns. Because the subconscious compiler is still running the same outdated script. It is still broadcasting the same frequencies of fear, guilt, unworthiness, scarcity, many of which are not even yours. They are inherited programs, ancestral imprints, cultural beliefs, karmic memories, written into your energetic architecture long before you had the awareness to question them. The ancient Egyptians described this layer of the self as the Ka, the vital essence that persists across lifetimes and carries the vibrational memory of the soul. They believed the Ka was constantly shaping destiny by projecting its accumulated resonance into the field. And unless consciously rewritten, it would continue manifesting experiences aligned with that resonance, over and over, lifetime after lifetime. Modern neuroscience and psychology mirror this teaching. The subconscious is a vast network of belief algorithms, patterns of expectation stored in neural pathways and emotional memory. These programs run automatically, influencing perception, filtering information, and generating vibrational signals that shape reality. They are not bad, they are simply invisible. And because they are invisible, they remain unchallenged, silently compiling reality on your behalf. The result is a paradox. You may consciously desire abundance, but if your subconscious script still declares, "I am not worthy," the field receives the latter as the dominant instruction. You may crave love, but if your energetic memory still vibrates, "I will be abandoned," the universe mirrors abandonment back to you. The subconscious blueprint overrides the conscious command. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it always computes based on the most powerful, consistent signal it receives. But here is the liberation. What was once unconscious can be brought into awareness. What was once automatic can be reprogrammed. Through deep inner work, shadow integration, trauma release, hypnosis, vibrational recalibration, you can rewrite the hidden code. And when you do, the compiler no longer sabotages you. It becomes your greatest ally, amplifying the conscious instructions you give. This is the true art of manifestation. Not fighting against the subconscious, but training it to speak the language of the reality you choose. When the hidden code aligns with your conscious command, the universe's response is immediate and undeniable. Activation. Comment. I rewrite the hidden code within me. To anchor this intention into your subconscious and begin shifting the vibration that programs your reality. Chapter 4. The Feedback Loop. How the universe mirrors your internal code back to you. Everything you experience, every relationship, opportunity, challenge, or coincidence is not random. It is a feedback signal. The universe is not punishing or rewarding you. It is mirroring you. It is showing you, with absolute precision, the vibration you are emitting beneath the surface, the hidden code you have been programming into the field. This is the forgotten law of creation. As within, so without. The external world is not a separate reality. It is the echo of your internal state, reflected back to you through people, events, and circumstances. Your beliefs shape your perception. Your emotions shape your frequency. Your frequency shapes the field. And the field, in turn, shapes the experiences that confirm those original beliefs and emotions. This is the feedback loop, the mechanism by which consciousness perceives itself through reality. The Egyptian initiates encoded this principle into their rituals and architecture. In their temples, mirrors were sacred objects, not for vanity, but for revelation. They symbolized the self-reflective nature of the cosmos, the understanding that the divine does not speak in words, but in reflections. To read those reflections was to decode the language of Ma'at, the law of balance, and understand what frequency one was truly transmitting. Modern science expresses this same truth in different terms. Systems theory calls it feedback calibration, the process by which a system adjusts itself by observing its output. Quantum mechanics calls it measurement collapse, the phenomenon where observation determines outcome. Psychology calls it confirmation bias, the tendency for perception to seek evidence of internal belief. All point to the same mechanism. Reality organizes itself around the vibration you hold most strongly. This is why denial, blame, and victimhood keep people trapped. They reject the mirror instead of reading it. They fight the reflection instead of changing the source. But the awakened creator uses feedback as information, a recurring pattern of scarcity, a sign of a deeply rooted belief, repeated betrayal, a reflection of a vibration of abandonment, unexpected synchronicities, evidence of alignment. Everything is feedback, and feedback is power. When you shift the internal code, the mirror must change. It cannot resist its own law. The feedback loop does not decide what to show, you do. And the moment your dominant vibration changes, the universe begins to recalibrate in response, rearranging probabilities, rewriting timelines, and orchestrating new realities that match the updated signal. Activation. Comment, I read the mirror, and rewrite the source. To anchor this awareness into your subconscious and begin consciously directing the feedback loop of your life. Chapter 5. Timeline Mechanics. How the source code chooses your future. At every moment, reality is not a single road stretching into the distance. It is an infinite branching tree, a vast field of potential timelines radiating out from the present moment. Every thought, belief, and emotional frequency you hold acts as a gravitational force, pulling one of those possibilities out of superposition and collapsing it into your lived experience. This is the hidden science behind destiny, not fate written in stone, but frequency choosing the future. Quantum physics calls it the collapse of the wave function, the moment a probability becomes a fact. Spiritual traditions have described it for millennia as karma, attraction, or divine orchestration. The truth behind both is the same. The universe is not selecting outcomes for you. Your vibration is selecting them through you. Your frequency trajectory, the pattern of resonance you embody over time, determines which of the infinite possibilities will crystallize into the timeline you inhabit. The ancient Egyptians taught this principle through the myth of Shai, the force of destiny. But Shai was not an external power controlling human fate. It was the soul's own frequency path, a vibrational signature that attracted certain events and repelled others. The priests of Heliopolis compared it to the flow of the Nile. While the river's source was eternal, its currents could be influenced by the shape of the land, just as destiny could be guided by the alignment of consciousness. Modern science mirrors this teaching. Timeline branching occurs with every decision, thought, and energetic state, not just in behavior, but in vibration. A subtle shift in belief, a single release of fear, a moment of unwavering certainty can redirect the trajectory of your future, opening doorways that were invisible moments before. This is not metaphor, it is physics. The probability field is pliable, and consciousness is the force that shapes it. The reason most people feel stuck is not that their future is fixed. It's that their vibration is static. They broadcast the same emotional frequency day after day, and the algorithm dutifully returns the same timeline again and again. But the moment you shift that vibration, even slightly, the field begins to reorganize. New probabilities emerge. Synchronicities appear. Pathways unfold that were previously impossible. Reality is not a linear script. It is a living negotiation between your inner state and the universe's infinite potential. And here is the most powerful truth of all. The future you desire already exists. It is not something you must create from nothing. It is a frequency pattern already encoded within the field. Your task is not to chase it. Your task is to match it. When your internal state resonates with the vibration of that timeline, the algorithm locks onto it, and reality begins to reconfigure itself around that new destiny architecture. Activation. Comment: I align with the frequency of my future. To anchor this awareness and begin magnetizing the timeline that already belongs to you. Chapter 6. Vibrational coherence, the final key to rewriting reality. There is one requirement the universe never compromises on, one condition that must be met before the source code will execute your command. That condition is coherence. Vibrational coherence is not wishful thinking. It is not blind positivity. It is the rare and sacred alignment of thought, emotion, belief, action, and identity into a single crystalline frequency. It is when every layer of your being, conscious and subconscious, mind and heart, body and soul, speaks the same instruction to the field. Most people never reach this state. They think abundance but feel unworthy. They desire love but expect abandonment. They visualize success while vibrating with doubt. And so the field receives mixed code, a scrambled instruction that yields scattered results. The algorithm is not broken. The signal is simply incoherent. The Egyptian adepts understood this. Inside temples tuned to celestial harmonics, they practiced Heka, vibrational alignment, using sound, breath, movement, and geometry to unify every part of the self. When the mind and heart moved as one, the field responded instantly. They believed that the universe was not manifested by force but conducted, like music guided by a perfect resonance. Modern science calls this constructive interference, when multiple waves align to amplify their power. A coherent signal doesn't compete with noise, it overrides it. Likewise, when your inner state is unified, your frequency pierces through the chaos of probability and locks the field into the timeline that matches it. This is the secret behind every miracle, every quantum leap, every impossible manifestation. Coherence is the permission slip for reality to obey you. Once you embody the vibration of the outcome, not as hope, but as truth, the universe has no choice but to reflect it. Activation. Comment: I align every part of me with my desired reality. To encode this coherence into your field, Chapter 7. Becoming the Source Code. Mastering creation from within. At the highest level of creation, you stop trying to use the source code and start realizing that you are the source code. The field is not responding to you. The field is you. The algorithm is not outside of you. It is written into the fabric of your consciousness. The ancient adepts called this state Sahu, the luminous self, when the human dissolves into the divine and the line between creator and creation disappears. It is not about controlling reality anymore. It is about remembering that reality has always been an extension of your consciousness, a projection of your internal architecture rendered into physical form. This is the final truth science is now beginning to glimpse. The observer and the observed are the same. Consciousness is not inside the universe. The universe is inside consciousness. Matter is not separate from mind. It is mind slowed into form. When you reach this level, you stop asking, "How do I manifest?" Instead, you ask, "What do I choose to express?" You no longer fight against the field because you realize there is nothing to fight. There is only the infinite canvas of potential, waiting for you to write upon it. This is not metaphor, it is mastery. It is what the temples were truly preparing initiates for. Not to worship the gods, but to awaken the God within. And once you awaken, you realize that destiny is not something you follow. It is something you author. Activation. Comment, "I am the source code. Creation flows through me." To anchor this ultimate remembrance into your field. Final. You were never the observer. You were always the author. Here is the revelation hidden in plain sight. The universe has never acted upon you. It has always acted through you. Every thought was a command. Every emotion, a line of code. Every belief, a blueprint that the field translated into form. You were never a victim of randomness. You were never a prisoner of fate. You were, and are, the author of existence itself. The scroll was never written in stone. It was written in vibration, and vibration is yours to shape. From this moment on, stop trying to manifest from the outside. Instead, rewrite from the inside. Speak not as one hoping to be heard, but as the intelligence that writes the laws. Don't ask for signs. Become the signal. Don't wait for the universe. Realize you are the universe, programming itself into new expressions of infinity. Final activation. Comment, "I am the author of reality." And let this become more than words. Let it become the operating system of your existence. Subscribe now and step deeper into the forgotten science of creation, where ancient wisdom meets quantum physics, and reality itself bends to the frequency you choose to become.